I got a question for you. What do Evangelion, Code Geass, Cowboy Bebop, Death Parade, Angel Beats, Kill la Kill, Charlotte, Psychopaths, Anohana, Gurren Lagann, Madoka Magica, Wonder Egg Priority, Darling in the Franxx, Samurai Champloo, Plastic Memories, Yuri on Ice, Vivy, Zombieland Saga, and much, much, much more have in common? I mean, you read the title, you know. Anime originals. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Calvin, I'm talking about shows that were not adapted from a manga, light novel, visual novel, game, or American comic series X-Men. These are original works. And recently, after making my gigantic video on Lycoris Recoil, I had a thought. Has this shit been getting better lately? I mean, we've had some absolute bangers in recent years. Vivy, ODDTAXI, Link Click, and the currently airing Buddy Daddies. These are all shows that I had a great time with. And right away I knew there'd be an easy way to answer this question objectively, or at least close to objectively. So I wrote up a script in Python to help me do just that. Yep, using real life, useful skills for anime videos. So my script takes in the top 300 or so anime original shows by popularity from AniList, ranging from Darling in the Franxx as the most popular, all the way down to the masterpiece Gun X Sword. And I plotted their scores over time by the year of release. And after running the script, we get our answer, which is no. Anime originals did not get better. Actually, they got worse. So, I guess that's that. But wait, there's more to this, right? I love anime originals. Some of you might relate to this, but I'm the kind of guy who reads discussion threads on Reddit or wherever for every episode of a show I watch. I just love the sense of community that comes when thousands of strangers band around to talk about the episode that we all just experienced together. And this goes double for anime originals because I take comfort in knowing that we're actually all in this together. And this makes speculating and theorizing about what's coming next more fun. I remember following the threads on Vivy when it was airing week to week and actually having an amazing time reading through what everyone had to say about the theories people were coming up with, about how people thought the show was gonna end. Nobody fucking knew, but we all didn't know. Together. But being in uncharted territory can be scary too. Darling in the Franxx and Wonder Egg Priority were both shows that had incredible starts. And then because of that, I always have the thought in the back of my head that until the very last minute of any anime original, no matter how good it is up to that point, there's always a fear that it could completely shit itself and take the characters to space for no reason, or make the last episode a PowerPoint presentation. But that fear is also what makes it special, because that's how life is supposed to be. You're not supposed to know what's coming up. Anything could happen, good or bad. So it's up to you to bring meaning to life. Okay, stop. That's too deep for an anime video, you get the point. So with that, let's look back at the question. Did anime originals get better? Now, the boring, objective answer we made using yucky, nerdy code gave us a resounding no. But I say we take a deeper look. Let's look into the different eras of anime originals and just get, really deep in there, like really fucking deep. Okay, I was gonna cut this off at like 1980-ish, because I couldn't really find much before then that was notable. And I'll try to make this part quick, but my search led me to some interesting finds. If you spend enough time on anime list sites like I do, you'll find some insane shit. I don't know what the first ever anime original was, but I guess it's one of these movies from like 1917. I love how all of these have My Anime List pages with hundreds of members, and they've got fucking reviews and forum discussions, and I can't tell if any of these people are being serious or not. So I ended up spending a non-trivial amount of time looking through these, but my favorite is probably this 10-minute stop-motion movie that for some reason is on AniList called The Bathroom. Okay, that was weird. If you were paying attention, you might have noticed something a little funny with the graph I showed earlier. And that's that there's fucking nothing over here! It's no secret that pre-2000s anime originals were few and far between. Score-wise, the lowest one we have from this period was Blue Gender with a 65% on AniList, which honestly, for the lowest score coming out of a 20-year period, is really good. I'd say most of the originals that came out of this era were pretty damn solid. I'd say the most notable ones, of course, are definitely Evangelion, Cowboy Bebop, and Serial Experiments Lain, which have cemented cemented themselves as incredibly influential and timeless classics. And apart from that, we definitely can't forget about Gundam. And 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 Gundam. It pains me so much to say this, but this is probably when most of you watching this video were born. 2000 to 2010 also marks a major transitional period in anime's popularity in the West, from what the fuck is this to what the fuck is this, but a little less. The popularity of mech shows seems to have carried over from earlier because we've got two absolute titans, not these. We've got Gurren Lagann and fucking Code Geass and Angel Beats. And other than that, we've also got some lesser known shows like Technolize, Eureka 7, Darker Than Black, and Panty and Stocking. Going back to our favorite scatter plot, this period is also when we start seeing some downwards expansion. Basically, we've got a much wider range of scores now, which makes sense given that we have way more original anime. Obviously, the number of anime originals has increased because the number of all anime has increased. Which, by the way, I made another graph to show using the same script as before. And honestly, this is probably why I had the perception of anime originals getting better in recent years. Every time a new season comes out, most people only have their eyes on the top echelon of popular shows. The rest will very often get completely ignored. And even for someone like me who watches more seasonal anime than what you might consider normal, or healthy, there's just so much anime now that tons and tons of shows fly under my radar all the time. Which means that even though the proportion of shows that you might consider good has gone down, we're still seeing more good shows overall. Which is dope because we get more good shows to enjoy. And more terrible shows to make fun of, which I also enjoy very much. Moving forward in the timeline to the 2010s, this is where shit really starts to change a lot. Unlike the previous few decades, it's a lot harder to name the decade-defining anime originals for the 2010s and beyond because there's just so many. Death Parade, Anohana, Kill la Kill, Psycho Pass, Darling the Franxx, Madoka, Recreators, Space Dandy, and a bunch more. And like how I mentioned earlier, we've got even more stinker shows too, but they're all buried under the rubble underneath these guys here. And this trend continues very, very strongly into the 2020s. Vivy, ODDTAXI, Akudama Drive, Lycoris Recoil, BNA, Link Click, Great Pretender, and Mid Invaded are all some great examples of standout shows. Which is crazy because I've got a shit ton of shows that I didn't mention just now on purpose, but we are only 3 years into the fucking decade! So here's my conclusion. I'm gonna put a shirt on because it's fucking cold. Have anime originals gotten better over time? Overall, no. But what we did get is more original anime that take more risks and experiment more with creativity, especially after the post-2010 anime boom. Recently, we've just got tons of interesting and insane premises that make up our selection of anime originals. We've got some really cool ones like Vivy and Psycho Pass that end up working out really well. And there's also the weird ones. There's a lot of weird and unorthodox shows that they really took a risk on, like Panty and Stocking, ODDTAXI, and Akiba Maid War. Holy fuck, that was a weird show. That I think at least ended up working out. But we've also got the hey, you did your best category. Yay, good job. I'm talking Wonder Egg Priority, Darling the Franxx, The Day I Became a God. These are the shows that started off amazingly, but ended up kind of shitting themselves towards the end. Regardless of your opinion on any of these shows, you gotta admit that there was tons of love and creativity poured into each of them, which is not easy to do for any anime, let alone one where you need to come up with the story, characters, and screenplay from scratch. It's a lot of extra steps and a lot of extra work. So I guess I just want to tell everyone to appreciate what goes into original anime, even if it's complete dog shit of a television show. And that's my final message.